Hello, everyone. How is everyone this evening? I am live. Darth says hi. Sophia says hello, Miss Mara with 2 pink hearts. Hello. And welcome back to my channel. David says hello, Mistress Mara. Hello, hello. Okay. So today we're going to do something a little bit different. And we're actually going to do some divination. If you don't know what that means, we're going to be reading my tarot because it's been a while since I've done it. And I've been feeling like I need to. So the first card I actually picked out when I cut the deck was Fate. So perhaps this will tell me a little bit about my fate. Hello, hello to all. Welcome. I love that this also comes with a booklet. Carl says, good evening, my beautiful kinky dominant mistress. You look ravishing tonight with 5 hearts and arrows through it. Thank you. Let's see. So, just for fun, the Fate card is a reminder that I create my own fate. While some lessons and experiences are inescapable, we have free will and choice within life that we are given. This does not always equal fairness, as we do not all start life from the same footing. Nonetheless, each choice we make matters. From this place, we can approach the creation of our life in an empowered way. So that's pretty cool. I'm gonna do, should I do a 10 spread? Logan is saying, please, goddess, show us your divine souls. I only show my feet if I am tipped generously to do so. You can tip me minimum of $5. I prefer 10 because it makes for a longer show for everyone and not just gives you a peep. So, Eden says, hi, Miss Mara. Hello, Eden. Welcome. Nelson says, Miss Mara, I made it. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday to you too. Okay. So we want to do a 10 spread tarot. So Uni says, hi, good morning from Dubai. Nelson says, nice to see you here live on YouTube. Yes, I live stream every Sunday. And Uni says, happy Monday. Yes, happy Monday to you across the world. Eden says, how was the sushi? Of course it was fantastic because I got their premium menu that is not on their website or on their, regular menu. Nelson says, I love tarots. How are you doing tonight, Miss Mara? I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. He also says, I got everything notified. Good job. I am also going to put this up today. Okay. David is asking, what are we doing today? We are reading my tarot fortune, because I haven't done it in a while. Nelson says, awesome, I'm doing amazing as well. A double thank you so much, beautiful. Lencho says, hola, hola. Okay, so if you guys aren't familiar with tarot, it is a type of divination. And I do it from time to time because sometimes I feel like I've gone through a period and either things are good or things could be improved. And this is a way to not reset, but kind of like point me to a direction that I feel like I need to go. It's like guidance. So there's different ways to do this. It comes from very, very old, like I would say ancient times. And everything is kind of like interpretive. Of course, you know, I can be projecting stuff that I like want to hear or that I feel like, you know, I would need to hear in my life right now. But I try to be as objective as possible, especially since I've been doing this for a really long time. I can kind of like take my ego out of what I, you know, read, just so that I can gain the clearest vision of what is happening. So, usually it works like from the inside out. So, the first card that I'm going to be selecting from the deck, I have not shuffled it today. I might do, let's do 2 shuffles. That's a good number I'm feeling. It's random. Usually you cut until it feels good for you. So that feels good to me. And what I'm going to do is, the first card is going to be about my spirituality from the inside, I believe. Because all right. Oh, I guess the first position would be like my question and what I have to think about, like what I need the most guidance on in my life. So, Sophia says, bye, see you later. All right, thanks for stopping by. Graham says, good day, ma'am. You are as sublimely beautiful as ever. Thank you. Welcome. Eden says, not into card reading, but the cards look very fancy, very aesthetic. Yes, that is why I had them purchased for me. Because you're not supposed to purchase your own tarots. You're supposed to have it gifted to you. Okay, so I'm going to ask my question. Because I do have something that I've been wanting to, like I mentioned, have guidance in. I guess we'll just take from the top. So, I got the universe card for my question, which is pretty broad. And I don't know how I feel about this because, you know, it has to do with things that are bigger than me. This card asks you to fully trust that there is a plan for you and that you have the support of the unseen. There are forces at play much larger than you can imagine. Surrender to that which you cannot control and trust that the idea that the spirit is always orchestrating what is most needed. And honestly, like I truly wholly believe in that because something that I've learned when I was at Burning Man, and I've gone 3 times in a row, it's been a while, but is that you always have the burn that you need, not the burn you want, which also translates to sometimes you won't experience things that you imagine or expect to in life, but sometimes those are either lessons or things that you need to grow and take away from, experience-wise. So that's kind of how I'm interpreting this card for the question that I'm thinking of. And I like it. I think it suits it. And, you know, there's a positive spin on this. David says, I'm a little familiar with these cards. Yes, these are a different type of deck. But you get the idea. Nelson says, your last live, I just saw that it's you reading in Spanish. I loved it. Yes, I was reading an author who is Chilean, and he won a Nobel Peace Prize for literary works. And I thought, what better way to celebrate Valentine's Day with you all than to share his love poems with you in English and in Spanish. Nelson says, Spanish is my first language before English. I'm a Southern Californian Hispanic from Los Angeles. Cool. Hello, Korean person who has joined my stream. We're doing tarot readings today. Okay, so the next out of the 10 card spread, we're on number 2. I asked my question. So the second position is the subconscious mind position and how I feel it on the inside. So we'll take it from the top. I haven't looked at it yet. And so my spiritual internal self is transmute, which is pretty cool. I like this also. I'm guessing it's a more transformative type of card, but let's read what it has to say. So, transmute, and this is, what is this? Within you lies the ability to take dense energy and turn it into a lighter, higher vibration. You can do this in response to constricting situations, difficult relationships, or blockages within your internal landscape. Sometimes we don't need to consciously work at the issue, but simply have the intention of doing so. That's very important. This card is an invitation to identifying that which needs to shift and creating a sacred container for what you want to transmute. So I believe this is like a bee or a scarab, because there's an insect on it. And it says, like all beetles, the scarab grows through a metamorphosis, which is often associated with rebirth. However, the scarab's magic also lies in its egg-laying ritual. The scarab will take a piece of dung and roll it east to west, eventually laying eggs within the dung. After about a month, it rolls the dung into water to soften it, and the eggs can finally hatch. Ugh, that's disgusting, but also kind of cool because nature, right? The scarab invites you to look at the world, even that which seems mundane and dung-like, as an opportunity for alchemy and rebirth. So again, I find like a lot of these is like a silver lining. Like with the question that I had in mind, I can tie it into this spirituality thing of how I see it inside, because I feel like where I'm going and my path right now is something that is very new for me, and I really enjoy it. And I feel like it can be, I don't know, something that is just different, eye-opening, and just something that I need to explore and experience by myself right now. So that's number 2. Next is the subconscious mind, but how others perceive it to be. So it's external. Stephen Code Black says, Mistress Mara, how are you doing tonight? Hello, welcome to my channel. Or welcome back, I should say. I'm doing well. I'm doing my tarot reading today, and sharing it, what it means, and yeah, doing a 10 card spread with everyone. So, yay! Hope you are doing well as well. Okay, so visual spiritual self. Ha! I have the Seeker. God, these are all like, I really like this deck because I feel like it's really on point with everything. All right, the Seeker indicates a need for energy, movement, vitality, and excitement. The Seeker is childlike at heart and has faith that, at its core, the world is a beautiful place. As we get older, it is easy to lose touch with our innocence and sense of wonder. We have responsibilities, stressful home and work environments, external pressures, physical sensitivities, and dis-ease. In the end, we get locked into survival mentality and don't know how to break free. The Seeker's message is one of reclamation. It's not so much about ridding yourself of the stress, but remembering your essence, slowly nurturing your sense of wonder. You might feel silly at first, but keep on working at it to balance out the negative. Replace statements of what if everything goes wrong to what if everything is exactly as it should be. So it's for empowerment and like to cure doubt, basically. And I really like this because it kind of ties in with the past 2 cards. And this one in particular is like me obviously trying to seek out my fortune, but also like understand it and hopefully gain some wisdom through it as well. So I like that. That's number 3. The next one is number 4, the conscious mind. So before we had the spiritual, like subconscious, now we're going to do the conscious mind. And this is how I perceive it on the inside. Boundaries. Yes. So, boundaries can be a difficult thing to master. Most people are not raised with a firm understanding of healthy boundaries and either end up being closed off or allow themselves to be invaded, or they become invading of others. It requires balance and knowing exactly what your needs are. This card asks you to check in with yourself and see where you live on the boundary spectrum. There's an armadillo on this one. And so the armadillo meaning is the little armored one. It's known for its hard armor on its backside. Its potent medicine is in teaching us how to set a container for our desired or not desired experiences if we already have an idea of what we do not want in our life. So we can set boundaries to prevent it from entering. Underneath the armadillo is a soft, vulnerable, open-hearted and vulnerable, but we have to be able to protect ourselves if we're needed. And we call upon the armadillo to find balance. So that's very cool. Okay, so that's that. Number 4. All right, the next one is the conscious mind, but it is visual on the outside. So let us see what that is. The Sage. I'm getting lots and lots of spiritual ones today, which is pretty awesome. The sage encourages you to see things from a higher perspective. Sage love teaches others, but knows when and when not to share their thoughts with others. They save their energy and wisdom for those who can truly value and integrate it. We may feel passionate about what we're trying to say, but we also must allow for individual responsibility. Healthy sage encourages us to share our wisdom, but to do so in a way that empowers others. Sage respects that everyone is where they are supposed to be in their process. They do not teach from a place of ego. It also calls you to tap into the wisest part of yourself. And unbalanced sage energy can include heavy criticism, a dogmatic disposition, being controlling, and manipulation. They may disregard their student feelings and experiences and think that only they are right. Oh, isn't that the truth for everybody? Liam says, my tarot would say that I'll be tormented by always seeing the stream start when it's sleep time. But sleeping is your choice. But if you need it, of course, go ahead and do so. Okay, so Sage goes to number 5. We are halfway there. The next card is the past position. So what I've been seeing in my most recent timeline and how I guess, digest it internally. So, the alchemist. Ooh, love these so much. Okay. 88. The alchemist indicates time of metamorphosis. So I had a metamorphosis thing with transmute, and now this is giving me a time frame to see it in. Stephen Coe Black says, I didn't get notification until almost 15 to 20 minutes after the stream started. Woo! And did you get, Did you get a notification through email, or is this, like, what is your method of notification? Or do you get a pop-up if you have YouTube on? Liam says, well, it's almost 6 a.m. Even if I choose not to, my body would just shut down. I understand. Steven says, on my YouTube mobile app. Interesting. I don't know why. But let me know if that happens to you again in the future, because we need to keep an eye out on this. Okay, so back to the alchemist. Oh, Steven says latency in my connection, I guess. Could be. Actually, could very well much be. Okay. So, we're talking about the past position in my life, in the most recent events, and how this has affected me internally. So the alchemist is time of metamorphosis. Right now is a potent time to plant the seeds of what I want to invite in. Ooh, I've been doing that. It's also a reminder that our thoughts are incredibly powerful. Oh, I've also reflected on this, like literally yesterday. We might not feel like we have a lot of control over our lives, but we work hard at changing the thought patterns that empowers us. We may be given a handful of bad ingredients, but they are still able to make magic with what they have. It can be a long process, but they hold a vision for the final product while continuing to show up in negative situations and slowly work and change it. Someone who's in the shadow of an alchemist may have a fear of failure and a fear of success, keeping them paralyzed in their current position. Luckily, that's not me. I'm just going for it, because why not? So yeah, that one's a good one. REP says, how are your pastries today? Those were actually from yesterday from my food date with Subgirl K. So yeah, we went to sushi first and had the premium omakase, which is actually a secret menu. And then we went to, yeah, this patisserie that was kind of close by, and grabbed we actually grabbed like 3 cakes, but I only got to show you guys the heart one yesterday because yeah, we just wanted to eat them. So Liam says, have a nice dream, Miss Mara. Hopefully the tarot gives you a good future. Thank you. Appreciate it. I hope you have a wonderful, restful sleep, and see you again soon. Graham says, I shall catch up later. It's just going to sleep. Thank you as always. Thank you, Graham. I hope you sleep well as well. Kent, thank you for your small pecker text as usual. It really makes me happy seeing them. Like, you have no idea. Oh, I don't know how many of you were still on, but you don't have to respond to this. Just note that I will be releasing a couple of really exciting things soon, including memberships on YouTube, and they're going to include some really cute designs. So stay tuned for that. Kent gave me a winky smiley face. Thank you. Okay. So this is number 6 in the past position. And then we're going on number 7, past position, and how I see it visually as it is now. So, ooh, we have take risk, but it's upside down. That means don't do it now. That's what that's telling me. It's Saoirse says, hey, Miss Mara. Hello, welcome to the stream. I'm doing tarot reading right now for myself. So take risk is upside down, which is, I think that's good for now because, you know, let's see. Ooh, it's a fire card, and I am a fire sign. So, risks. Wow. Risks are personal to each one of us. To some, climbing a mountain doesn't feel risky. To others, having a conversation with a stranger does. What has been calling you that you have been afraid to do? Comfort kills growth. It's important that we regularly do things to push the envelope that make us feel nervous, apprehensive, and uneasy. This card is asking you to take the plunge and do the thing that intimidates you. Trust that the net will appear after you jump. The mountain goat is on here. So this one is saying, like, this teaches us that all challenges are relative and that risks often seems greater in our heads. Call upon the mountain goat when you need help tapping into the bravery you embrace as you embrace risk. So this is upside down. Usually when a tarot card is upside down, it means it's in a reverse position, which also means that it's not as the card was originally intended. So if you guys believe in Mercury retrograde, we just ended the cycle of the first Mercury in retrograde for the year. And it's kind of, there were a lot of little things that really got under my skin and didn't work out for me in the past month. And so now that that has ended, I kind of just waited to not really take risks because there's no point in jumping into something when things are still shifting. And so, and sometimes not for the better. And so sometimes it's just good to wait it out and see what happens, because That's not to say that you're not planning for things in the future, because I still am, obviously. But that's also just to be prepared for anything to happen, you know, in your life. I always prepare for the worst, hope for the best kind of thing. So REP says, make sure you talk about your Patreon. I want some of that Patreon on. Yes. For you who are here, I'm actually going to be relaunching my Patreon. And the details are going to be different. The tier levels are going to be different. But basically, I'm going to have different things, and I'm also going to be live streaming on that, but instead of being censored like I am for YouTube, because I can't do certain things on YouTube, I'm going to be doing them on Patreon. Obviously, I'm going to make a whole video on that as well, so stay tuned and make sure you're subscribed for that. And REP says, you are a Leo, right? Yes, I am a solar and lunar Leo. So I was born as a Leo and also see myself internally as a Leo. Fire sign. So, yeah. Okay. So this is past. I haven't taken risks. Okay, that's in the 7th position. We've got 3 more. We have the final outcome position, which is kind of like me internalizing how I feel like this question that I initially put out there is gonna cultivate, I guess, within the next, I don't know what. Ooh, strength. Always need that, no matter what, or no matter when. So let's look up strength. 30. REP says it's rep. Rep. Okay, got it, rep. Strength. Strength. Stephen Co. Black says, I was born August 9, 1991. So does that make me, as far as a sign thing goes? So your solar is always going to be what you were born as. So you're a Leo as well. High five. Your lunar and your rising are going to be based off of your birthday, where you were born, like the city, and then what time. And you have to know the exact time because it can differ from 5 minutes, give or take. Ultimate X James says, hey, hello, welcome to my stream. Rep says, make sure you have different menus for feet, face, sitting, fishnet, stockings, you know, all the things I like. Make sure you have some professionals because I like to see. It's not about you. I'm going to correct you right now. It's about me. And it's my Patreon. And even though I'm going to be catering a menu to other people who are going to be patrons, it's basically I'm going to be collaborating with my patrons to work on polls and video ideas and live stream ideas. So it's going to be kind of like that. You'll find out more about that soon. Rep is a Gemini. Geminis are usually tough, actually, to get along with for me, because you guys are all over the place. But it doesn't just depend on your solar sign. It also depends on, you know, what your rising and lunar signs are as well. That really define our compatibility. Stephen Co. Black says, I was born in Mission Viejo, California at around 6 p.m., give or take. Oh, I was born around 6 p.m. as well. I call it the happy hour. Yeah. Rep says June 13th. Rep, to view my feet, you do have to tip like $5 to $10 worth via super chat or a super sticker. You can find that with the $ underneath the chat right by the emoji sign. I don't do things for free here. I never have. Byron says, hey Mara, your black hair is so elegant and silky. Thank you. I get lots of compliments on it in person. It's much more shiny than you are seeing now, but okay. So we're talking about the strength card and how that relates to how I internally see my final resolution. And it says, this card indicates a time where you need to tap into your reserve of strength and resilience. There may be things coming up in your life right now that require your courage and the willingness to be uncomfortable. It's always about breaking out of this comfort zone. I guess I really need to do that, or I am doing it. I don't know. Our ability to adjust to any transition, loss, or change will depend on our patience in riding out the storm. Sometimes we have to do this without a map. Whatever is coming up for you right now, understand that it will pass and that you just need to believe that you can move through it. So this strength card actually has the sycamore. Wait, yeah. It's a sycamore tree. It's a sick card. Love it. Sycamore is one of the oldest species of trees on this earth. The name comes from the fact that the tree actually looks sickly with all the old layers of bark tearing and peeling away, making way for the inner bark. Oh, I didn't know that's what it was. This results in a collage of different hues of brown, green, and white. It's a reminder that while we may be going through trials and do not feel strong, we are growing through our determination to endure. Call upon the sycamore as a guide in getting in touch with your strength when you feel uncertain and shaky. Allow yourself to be simultaneous, to hold your strength and vulnerability. Oh, I like that. I love all of these. Nate says, remember guys, want to see Dominant's feet? Tipper, $5 to $10 super chat. Best things sometimes aren't for free. Winky face. Thank you, Nate. Stephen Code Black says, bottom right. Yes, thank you for helping out, you guys. Rep says, sexiest Asian girl on YouTube right now, point blank. Thank you. David says, sometimes I feel like I was born with a little bit straight. I'm almost like Hercules. I don't understand your comment, but I like where your thought process is going. Okay, so this is number 8, which should go right here. All right. Then we're going to see the final outcome position as it is visually on the external. Ooh, we have surrender. I feel like I'm totally in the vibe of this right now. Like, just giving into whatever is and will be, but it doesn't mean that I'm not working hard. So, I always work. And surrender is, we often hear the word surrender being thrown around intentionally, and rightfully so. Well, thrown around in intentional communities. And this is one of the primary lessons we are on Earth to learn. This is also one of the most challenging. To surrender is to have our human nature take a back seat. It's not easy because we can find ourselves saying, I know how I should look at this, but we struggle when it comes to actually embodying it and putting it into practice. Cool. So this is the... What's a cryolite? Hang on, I gotta look this up. I don't know what a cryolite is. Cryolite. Ooh, it's a type of mineral. Okay, I kind of guessed that from the light. I don't think this is a crystal. I think this is a willow branch because it's got a laurel on it. So I'm just going to go with that. One of the most magical things about a willow is that a fallen branch can regrow into a tree. Wow, that's so cool. I love that. Oh, like in Pocahontas with Grandmother Willow. It contains a growth hormone that creates rapid rooting. In fact, you can use willow in aiding other plants in growing. Wow, love that. Willow is an ally of rooting where you are. So often we want to be elsewhere, living in a different place, doing a different work where we are reaching, but sometimes we're not sure what. It is often our resistance to our current environment that prevents us from moving on. Yeah, so it's kind of like the grass is greener always. It looks easier, it looks better to be on the other side. But a lot of people, like, I'm always very grateful for what I have in life, and I think that really helps kind of dictate how I, like, perceive life. Because through my eyes, like, if I'm not grateful, then why would I deserve any of it? You know, like, it doesn't make sense for me to keep wanting and stuff like that. But if I don't show any gratitude towards it, and I truly am, then there's no point in the universe giving it to me, right? It doesn't make any sense to do that. Nate says, by the way, I know I'm late, but I've been watching Old Boy for the first time, so divided, lol. Oh, that's a rough one. Make sure that, because Old Boy is part of a trilogy, make sure that you watch, Sympathy for Mr. Vengeance was actually the first one. However, Sympathy for Miss Lady Vengeance is so good. It's one of my favorite films. Watch that afterwards, because it is on another level of storytelling. And I hope you're watching the Korean version, the original. Okay, so that's number 9. Number 10 is the outside forces and psychological implications of the position. So this is like the final boss form. Uncrash22 says, as a tarot student, may I know which deck you're using? So this isn't actually like a traditional tarot. This is a deck of cards that's kind of focusing on like my shadow. There's a difference between light and shadow work. This is my shadow work because this is stuff that I feel like I need to work on or to focus on. And I need guidance on a specific question. So this one is Threads of Fate Oracle. And it's a shadow edition. Nate says Korean version, lol, yes. Okay, yes, lol. Ooh, okay, so this is my final form. Soul work. I gotta work on my spirituality, and I already knew it because I'm getting into the tarot because of it. So I already knew the answer before I even selected the card. But let's just see what it has to say, because soul, this card is an air card. Sometimes while we are navigating our day-to-day life, we can lose sight of our highest purpose in this earthly realm. This card asks you to once again check in with your soul purpose. It is not possible to be derailed from your soul path, no matter where you are, but clarity does help us show up for it in a more intentional way. So you can sit with these questions like, what is it that you are here to teach? What are you here to learn? What stirs in your heart? Spend some time reflecting on your soul, mission, and how you can integrate it into your life. So this one has the bee on it. And the bee says, the life of the bee is all centered around one mission, to nurture the colony. There are different types of bees, and they all have a unique job, but it is to serve the collective. A bee isn't, or be the queen, hello. The queen bee. There are different types of bees, and the bee is an ally for our soul mission, because once we have an idea of what we are here to do and how we want to do it, they can teach us how to create structure and productivity. Call upon bee when you are in a liminal space between knowing and acting. Right on. And that is number 10. That is the last final thing. So I'm actually quite happy with how this turned out. It was very successful. Eddie says, good evening, goddess. Hello, Eddie. Nice of you to join. I just finished my tarot reading. Yes. So I'm going to shuffle these back into the deck. And yeah, I'm going to kind of keep it short tonight. But if there are any other questions, comments, concerns that you guys would like to ask me for the evening, do let me know. Eddie says, a little late due to some chores since we have visitors coming tomorrow. You know the cleaning frenzy that follows. Indeed, I do. So. Shan says, Goddess Mara with 3 prayer hands. Hello, welcome. So, yeah. Kind of had a relaxing weekend. Didn't really do much except for go out with Subgirl K, which you saw. There is a new section to YouTube on the app called Shorts, and that's where I've been posting like 10 to 15 second clips of like what's happening in the day. So it's kind of like Insta stories and kind of like TikTok, but on YouTube. And the area is still in beta. You can only see it on the YouTube app on your phone. So if you are on PC, you can click on my videos tab on my account and you can view all of them there that way. But I did a poll over the weekend and most people said that they use YouTube on their phone. So it's we'll try it out for a couple weeks and see how it goes. It's kind of an interesting concept because like it's new and you don't really have to think about editing really. You can just post whatever floats your boat. If you will. David says, well, thank goodness you didn't get the death card. I don't think you understand what the death card is. The death card isn't death. It can signify that, but it's technically an end to something or change for something new. Like new beginnings kind of thing. However, it's not the new beginnings card because that one's kind of like the Fool in traditional tarot reading. But I don't fear death, and I don't, I'm not afraid of getting that card because in the Mayan zodiac, if you had watched my, I have a live stream on this. You can go check that out on my live stream playlist afterwards. My Mayan zodiac is death. And that also probably explains why I see a lot of skulls when I'm on psychedelics. So, yeah. Stephen Code Black says, why do so many folks think of the death card stereotypically as the Ace of Spades card between the teeth of a dead body? This isn't Vietnam. I don't even know that reference, Stephen. But I do think that because of like, I mean, if you look at a tarot card of death, like, it's pretty like gruesome and it gives a false depiction of what it is because it literally has like a skeleton in it. But it doesn't mean like you or somebody you know necessarily is going to die. It doesn't mean it's not that either, but it's not like, that's not the original intention. The original intention is just to tell you that, hey, something, a stage in your life is going to end. That's neither good or bad. It's just, it's going to end. It's going to bring closure. And I usually don't like saying idioms, but when one door closes, another one hopefully opens, right? As long as you're alive and progressing, you know, that kind of is how I see it. Eddie says, that makes you powerful, you know. Wait, what does? Ashley says, I worship you, Mistress Mara. Thank you. Welcome, Ashley. Steven says, it's not that type of death card. Yeah, I think we're agreeing. I just didn't know which one, what you meant with the Ace of Spades between someone's teeth. I guess that's a ritual people do, kind of like the 2 coins in Greece when you have to cross over the river Styx. Stephen Koblak says, in Vietnam, the Ace of Spades was used in that type of way to signal death to an enemy, to scare away the Viet Cong out of certain regions, either by placing that card between the teeth of a dead Viet Cong or by scattering them everywhere. Ah, gotcha. Okay, yeah, makes sense. I mean, the Ace of Spades is my favorite card in the, like, you know, traditional playing card deck. You can do fortunes with that as well, until it's kind of like using the personas of the king and queen and jack and the aces in specific ways with the suits. So that's pretty cool. I used to do that a lot, actually, when I was in high school, because I was very confused during that time about a lot of things. Eddie says, the future is always changing. We don't know what it has in store for us, so we keep running to catch up with things. I mean, yes and no. It's honestly perspective. Like, I never feel like I'm running to catch up with it. I've actually never felt that way. The days are going by pretty quickly, even though I feel like I'm going at my own pace. I don't know. I think I've always just been trained to be prepared for anything and to kind of just like be ready to accept, you know, and adapt to whatever is thrown my way. Even though I plan for specific things, like always have it in the back of your mind that things will not go the way that you would plan. It's like technical difficulties. You will always, like, you know, run into something that you didn't think you were going to, but if you have the foresight to prepare for that, then it doesn't matter. You're just like, okay, it sucks, but here's how we can solve it or move past it. Use as a backup plan. Steven says it was basically a psychological warfare tactic. Gotcha. Symbolic too. David says I play the poker game on that. Yes. Stephen Black says, I'm not very knowledgeable about this tarot stuff, but I do at least understand that the death card isn't the same as what I previously described. Yeah. I mean, it is what I described it as. Just change. And that's, again, neutral. It's neither good or bad. You can interpret it as good or bad, reflecting on how your life is doing, obviously. But I've been finding silver linings in a lot of things. Like, my mom was always a believer of, like, if something it should happen, it will happen. Kind of like, if it may, no wait, what's the saying? It's like, if it's meant to be, it will be, right? And in the beginning I was like, this is so cheesy, I don't believe in that, you know? But as I got older, like, I started seeing, like, oh man, it's good that I didn't get on that train or whatever, because now they're stuck and they have to wait to be evacuated or whatever, you know, in a different country. Or there's just a lot of things that I thought that, you know, it really sucked at the time because I couldn't see the bigger picture of, like, why I didn't get certain things at certain times. But in the end, they were all, like, blessings because other stuff happened in addition to that, And if I was there, it would have sucked. Dum-dum-dum. Steven says it could also be a symbol like the person you used to be is now dead and you are now the new you. Now reborn as the new you. Yeah, it's like, so, I mean, again, it's going to sound super, super cheesy. But let's be cheesy together. You know, circle of life. Everything is... Life is a circle. Life is a sine wave. There's always going to be up and down. There's always going to be the cyclical things of happening. The earth turns and rotates. You know, the solar system is based off of loops. Time is a measurement. It is also a clock. You know, all of these things are relevant and measured that way because it makes the most sense. And same with us. We are always changing. There's also that other saying, it's like change is the only constant. Meaning that there's nothing that stays the same except for change, which is like, you know, role reversal there. It's not quite an oxymoron, but it's a role reversal because, you know, that just means nothing is stagnant in life. Nothing is still. It might seem like that. It might feel like that for one moment or that session in your life, but it's not. Everything is always flowing. Like, if you stopped doing something, everybody else in the world is still going to continue to do them because everybody is living a life, a vivid life outside of yours. Steven says, or something along those lines. Yeah. Eddie says, isn't that the purpose of reincarnation? Can't say much about this, but I know some ancient cultures believe in life after death reincarnates into another life form. So I actually kind of believe in it, even though I'm baptized Catholic. It doesn't even matter at that point with religion, but because I feel like I've lived certain lives before, and like, there's just some things, like situations in life that I feel like I know. Like, I just know for sure. My gut tells me, my intuition tells me on the inside. And even though I haven't experienced it myself in this world, like if a position or a specific instance comes into play, theoretically, I am able to like have an answer really quickly. And I don't know how, I don't know why. And again, it's just like theory, but I'm able to single it out and just be like, I feel like I've done this before and this is the answer. I know how to solve that, you know. And if I do come into it myself, I end up finding that answer quickly too. And you know, I've gotten my palms read like twice in my life, and they were both right. The two women, and they were women, obviously, who said it. One of them was in my hometown, and she said that I would never work for a big corporation. Like, my first job was that big corporation. It was a sister company. And it's just funny that they said that because I didn't end up staying. Like, and they told me, they were like, it's not that you don't have the talent for it, but it doesn't fit you. It doesn't fit you as a person. It doesn't fit your lifestyle. And I didn't understand what they meant about that until I got into kink, which is crazy. And then they also said you'll always have a roof over your head. You'll always have food on the table. You know, you'll be fine, basically. But that life of that being in that, a cog in that billion-dollar corporation machine was not me. So that's correct. Second one that I saw was, or that the second woman that read my palm said that I was a very old soul. And a lot of girls may say this or like feel that way. But like, you know, when somebody is an old soul because they will tell you things, something about them will resonate with you in a way that's just like, wow, this person has lived like lifetimes and they're so knowledgeable or so young or like physically, right? But they'll have this energy about them that's like, you can't explain it. You just can feel that vibration of like, wow, there's a lot that has happened, or that person has outputted a lot of like just wisdom. It doesn't even have to be like smarts. I'm not talking about book smarts. I'm not talking about street smarts. I'm talking about actual like wisdom and how you interpret situations, how you interpret life. If you were able to articulate it and present it in a graceful way, or take these mistakes that you've made and just, like this card deck says, transmute it into something, you know, that can work better for you, to change it and not fear those failures or see your mistakes as any flaws, because everybody is flawed. Like, there's no perfect person. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here. I'm getting on a tangent, but yeah, you understand what I'm saying. Eddie says, my mom says life is energy. Nature gives it to you, and one day you have to give it back. Exactly. Like the cycle of plants, for example. Plants have been here first. They literally were here when the planet was probably made. Like, there was vegetation, well, probably water creatures first, bacteria. Okay, we're getting too scientific, but yes, plants, you know, you grow them, you can use them for food, for supplies, and then all the compost, all the waste that we can't eat, like seeds and pits, garbage, like stuff that has started rotting, and the decomposition will go back into the soil and grow some more plants. Like, that's so amazing that this planet can do that, and I feel like that's why it's going to be fine, like, without humans. If humans became extinct, like, the planet will heal itself, no problem. David says, what do you believe? I just talked for like 10 minutes, so I don't know if you were listening or not, but you can rewatch this live stream afterwards to figure it out. Shan says, Goddess Mara, what's your shoe size? I'm a size 8. Or a 39 in European. But yeah. I know we got a little bit out there today, but I was kind of feeling that direction, and I did need it. So thank you for allowing me to talk about this and for giving your feedback, because I think it's really important that we do kind of like, you know, look inward and internalize where we are, given like, it's like a little check-in with yourself, you know, and I think the whole mental and emotional thing is tied in with spirituality, and so is, you know, kink for me, obviously. You know, I don't feel like I would be able to play 100% if I wasn't okay 100% inside and out. So Eddie says the energy keeps flowing around the universe from little plants to the most complex form. Yes, in Chinese, it's called qi, the life force, the spirit. In Star Wars, it is also called the Force. So, for all you nerds out there. But yeah. If you would like to tip, I have my Cash App pinned to the live chat, but I might keep it short and sweet tonight and end it here since it's already been over an hour. Yeah. I might be publishing a couple of videos this coming week, so stay tuned. So it will be more than one. Again, I'm posting on YouTube as shorts, which will be the vertical, how do you say, you know, 10 to 15 clips that are on my page through the YouTube app on your phone. And then I'm also going to be introducing memberships and relaunching my Patreon soon, so stay tuned for that. Eddie says, I feel like I think these types of videos keep the balance. Yeah, I agree completely. 100%. So yeah, if you guys haven't seen, this is what I'm talking about. This is my channel on my phone, right? I'm live right now, so that's me. And then down here is the new shorts section. And then underneath that are all my playlists, so yeah. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. You can share it so that other people can kind of like, you know, hear what I have to say about spirituality and how that affects your well-being and like transforming your day-to-day and how to kind of interpret where you are in life with, you know, card divination. Eddie says doing the kinky stuff some weekends, and then other times we all have story time. Yeah, I mean, I have all types of videos. I have product reviews. I have my, you know, storytelling of kink. I have my memes, which are jokes. And then I have, you know, this sometimes. So, and this is the first time I ever did my reading on here. And you guys can thank TB, who also won the Halloween contest last year, for gifting me these cards. So thank you to TB for his generosity. Stephen Koblack says, is that an Android phone you have there? No, this is a very old iPhone. It's the iPhone 6S. So, yeah. Don't throw it and hit things. But yeah. Give this video a like. You know that I post new videos every Saturday at 1 p.m. Pacific time. I live stream Sunday evenings Pacific time as well. And yeah, look out for the stuff that I saw. So thank you for coming to my live stream. And Eddie says, love simping for feet, but today I can't. Tip. No worries. I appreciate you tipping previously. So don't worry about it. Thank you, though. David says, I'll see you next weekend. Have a good night. Same to you guys. Thanks for coming, and I will see you again soon. Good night.